Good morning. It's turned out nice again. Hey, how's it going, guys? You all right? Hey, it has turned out nice. It's cracking weather now, guys. Oh, dear, we'll get nothing done now. You all right? Yeah, good. So, did you see Julian Ward? He's said to be deep in talks or close to agreeing a deal with Ajax. I kind of read that and thought, why? What's the attraction? If you're Ajax, would you be desperate to get Julian Ward there? I don't know, really. I mean, what do you think? Klopp said, didn't he? Well, I think it was towards the end of last year that he was, surprised and shocked that he intended, to leave the club, as Rafa Benitez would say. For sure. And he said, he said at the time, it won't impact January's transfer window, and we all went, yeah, that's because he's got nothing to do in January. But it makes me think about what's going to happen this summer, guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Klopp said that his decision to leave the club will not impact on anything. It's business as usual. He's 100% committed to Liverpool Football Club. But if he's 100% committed to Liverpool Football Club, how's he managing to have these advanced talks or whatever with Ajax? You know what I'm saying? I'm not digging here. I'm sure it doesn't take much to, have a meeting or two or whatever. But maybe I'm clutching by saying maybe his mind's elsewhere already. I don't know. I'm sure he's a professional. Klopp says he's a professional. There you go. So everything Jurgen says, we've got to believe. But I don't know about you, but it's what month are we in now? March, guys, right? And who's working the deals? You know what I mean? Who's doing all this? And it's a big summer, right? It's a big summer. Now, I'm led to believe that after the 7-0 pacing of Manchester United, that a certain Liverpool journalist came out and said, there's the proof that no major overhaul is needed. Then in the next game, we lost to Bournemouth. I mean, the majority of Liverpool supporters that comment on my videos or interact with me on the members' website or wherever seem to think that we need to spend around 200 to 300 million pounds in the summer. Do you think that's what Liverpool will spend in the summer? Do you think FSG will do that, even if they get some kind of investment? I mean, think about this. Let's just say they secure an investor for Fenway Sports Group, right, which is obviously above Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool Football Club is a part of that. And someone either increases their shareholding in that company or buys into that company and injects several hundred millions into that company. Are they really then wanting to... let me rephrase that. Are they really then going to use that money at Liverpool Football Club? I just can't see that happening, me personally. And, we know how FSG's policy, or maybe not policy, but what they like to do is sell to buy. And would you be shocked if there was a big exit in the summer? No. But, I keep seeing this. I keep seeing people say, you watch, we'll sell Salah. And I just think, I don't know. I don't think we should flap at the moment. I think it's unfair for us to, criticise before it's happened. But we can only go by the past, can't we? And normally we're left disappointed. And this time, this summer, this is, a really, really important situation for us. And I feel like we say that every year, but I do feel that this summer, you'd expect there to be a lot of turnover, which means surely that your sporting director or whatever you want to call him should be flat out right now. And there should be someone fully committed to that job. And maybe I'm wrong with this, but if you're wanted by a company in life, right? So let's take it away from football. You're being headhunted to go and work for a company in the UK or wherever you live, and that guy sat opposite you, and he says to you, I really want you to come and work for us, blah blah blah, and he's trying to sell you the company and everything. you talk about the future and that, don't you? Go, but what about next year, 2 years? What's the plan for the company? You know, is my position secure, etc., etc. If that person then responds like, to be honest, I won't be here. It's not as convincing, is it? Do you know what I mean, guys? I can think back to KopTalk back in around the year, I don't know, 2000 or something like that. 99, 2000, 2001 or something. And I had a really good relationship with a company called Future Publishing. They're a massive magazine company in England. And they ran a football hub at the time. It was called UFN, Unofficial Football Network. It was like the beginning of the football websites, really. And the KopTalk was the main website on that platform. It then renamed to totalfootball.com. I don't know what's on that domain name now. Go and have a look. And they paid, I wasn't supposed to know this, but they paid £100,000 for that domain name. And the guy that ran the football side, that was employed by Future Publishing, that ran the Unofficial Football Network, which then became Total Football Network or whatever. He was very enthusiastic. He was my main contact, if you like. So we didn't have Google Advertise or anything back then. So my money, my revenue was coming from that company, right? Which is Future Publishing. So, and this lad, he was a really, really nice guy. We had an outstanding relationship. I trusted him. I was old school, like a handshake meant more to me than a contract or anything like that. And I remember I once signed a contract with them. So they paid me for advertising, right? They basically ran all the advertising on KopTalk, at that time. And it was extremely lucrative. And I signed a deal with that company. And I remember Mike the next day saying, I've left something out of the contract. I really need it in or else I'm going to get into trouble, don't. It's left it a little bit, exposes the company a little bit. Now, I should have turned around at that point and gone, that's a chance, mate, you're having a laugh. But I really liked Mike, sorry, I don't know if I told you his name was called Mike. And I really liked him. And I said, no problem, mate, yeah, just I'll do whatever. Do you know what I mean, Mike? I don't want to get you into any bother or anything. A proper businessman, not a football fan, might have turned around and said, well, Mike, I really like you, pal, but, this is... Do you know what I mean? The point is, what I'm trying to say here is that me and Mike had an outstanding relationship. He sold everything to me as to why I should be on that platform, why I shouldn't go anywhere else, why that company wanted me, i.e. KopTalk, to be a part of it, right? And I liked it, and I had a good relationship. I liked what he had to tell me. What happened was, at some point, Mike left that company, and he was replaced by a chick, and which doesn't matter what sex she was, but he was replaced by a woman, and she was the complete opposite. Like everything changed, like all the dynamics, the way that we would work, the plans that they had, and eventually they actually shut down all that stuff. So it wasn't a good move for me when Mike left. Do you know what I mean? Because things had changed. The promises, the pledges, the understanding we had, that I know contracts, are everything, but that handshake for someone like me, right, is a big deal. So like, if I shake your hand on something, I'm never going to Welsh on it or anything like that. So the whole situation changed to the worse, really, for the worse. And so anyway, it's not exactly the same, but I'm a footballer going into a football club, and you've got a guy there, come and play for us. This is why, this is what we can do for you. This is what we can pay you. This is how we will look after you. This is what we're going to do next year and 2 years from now. We're very ambitious, which is like what Mike said to me. We're very ambitious. And he was, but then someone came and changed it. And then then that was all shut down. Now, Liverpool Football Club's not going to get shut down. But if I was a footballer and I was thinking of going to Liverpool Football Club when I've got numerous clubs going after me, I want the guy that sat there trying to sign me to give me assurances about the future, the immediate future. You know, what's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years, all right? Excuse me. So, you know, the manager's going to be here, what? These owners are going to be here? You know, what's the cracks kind of thing? And I just feel that Liverpool at the moment really need to address that role, that position at the club, because I think that you need stability and you need someone to come in. I mean, if you get a new sporting director now, for example, you'd expect them to be enthusiastic and, you know, this is why I took this job and I want you to be here and all that, you know. If we, the supporters, are like, well, what's going on? What are footballers? You know, what are potential targets going to be like? Now, you might get a player that goes, I want to play for Liverpool. That's it. I don't care who's there. Then great. Doesn't really matter, does it? If they're extremely wealthy, they're probably not too bothered about, you know, things. But I'm sure that they're all bothered about ambition, you know. So, you know, I've seen suggestions that Jude Bellingham, I'm going to make a video for the members, the channel members and the KopTalk members very soon about Jude Bellingham. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. And when I finish this video, I'm going to go and record today's podcast episode. So KopTalk podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcast, everywhere. Get a podcast app. Pocket Cast is probably the best app, I think. Just search Liverpool FC KopTalk or KopTalk. I'll be doing an episode on there immediately after this video goes live. Bellingham. So I saw that Bellingham, you know, there are suggestions that he's not too phased whether Liverpool are in the Champions League or not, you know. And I keep seeing this thing, the journalists always do it. You know, they're not too concerned if Liverpool miss out 1 year. It's like, how do you know that the following year you're going to qualify? Do you know what I mean? So anyway, let's try not to keep it too negative. So that's very nice if Bellingham wants that. But where's the money coming from? That's the bit that worries me. So even if, you know, FSG said, right, we've got 200 million, you know, to spend in the summer, how much of that 200 million would be taken up on Bellingham alone? And I saw there were suggestions yesterday that Liverpool were looking at alternatives. So from my point of view, I have the same access to you when you look at newspapers and stuff like that, and people, hacks, you know, making claims. And then you obviously, because of the history of the website and all the years we've been here, you know, we do have what I like to call, you know, a network of friends that some are at the club, some contract. Well, you hear things, you know, but at the moment it's very quiet, and it's extremely strange for that, you know, because we're now in March. We're whizzing through. I think we're in March, aren't we? Yeah, because I've had my daughter's birthday, so we're whizzing through March. And before you know it, the summer's going to be here. So they should be working on deals now, right? They have to be. But I'm just not as happy. There's nothing to suggest at all that anything's going wrong, or that Julian Ward's not, you know, fully committed to his job or anything like that. And there's nothing to suggest that any player's going, oh, I'm not sure I want to play because they're changing sporting director. Maybe that doesn't come into it. But I do still think that, you know, a player will sign for a club regardless of who the sporting director is, but the sporting director has to sell to that player the project, you know, the imminent and immediate future. So if you're a player, if we've got a player that wants to play for Liverpool, that's maybe not too high. I don't care who the sporting director is. I'm going to be all right. My salary is not going to change, and I'm sure Liverpool's going to be challenging things. But what about when you get, you know, a player that has got 2 or 3 clubs that are really trying to sign him, you know, and he's like, you know, I listen to these footballers, former footballers on the radio and on Sky Sports or whatever in the studios, especially around transfer deadline day. And in fact, I can cast my mind back to the last transfer deadline day. I can't remember who it was, but it was a very famous former footballer. And he was on the radio and they said, tell us what it's like transfer deadline day. Like, you've got 2 clubs going for you. They were debating some U-turn on a player. I think it involved Everton, I can't remember. And he was like, he was basically saying what I'm saying. He's like, well, you listen to both clubs and you know, you want to hear what the project, how is it going to be? And obviously there's some professional footballers that just want the money and don't care. But we want the best, right? So it's important. The reason I'm making this video is just to say, like, it's important that we continue to sell the right message. And if we've got a guy that's like talking to Ajax and, you know, where's his replacement? I know we've seen the, you know, names that have been mooted with the job and that. Why is, we are Liverpool Football Club. Why is nobody put in that position already? And I can't help but think that it's because of the whole uncertainty surrounding a potential club sale or investment, which has dragged on, because you don't want to be putting people in new positions if you're about to exit or something like that. Who's going to take a job when they go, well, am I going to have a job in 2 months' time if you sell the club? So, and if you're one of those people, a sporting director coming in, what are you saying now? When we talk about the players coming in potentially, you're a potential sporting director. What would you be saying now? You'd be going, well, what's happening? So you're in that period, aren't you, where there could be someone interested in the job going, well, there's no point taking it because, they might sell the club and they might want their own guy in position. So the point is that we've got this instability around a lot of things at the club at the moment. And that's why I think it's really important that the owners, sort out this investment situation as soon as possible. Either say the club's off the market, we've got a minor investor. I think we'll see something on that front very soon, because I think that John Henry and co have been, stalling. I think they've got the minor investment situation, a deal that they can put over the line if they want to, but I think they've been holding on, maybe to see what's going on at Manchester United and stuff like that. But I'm sure you'd agree it's all one big distraction that affects many, many things. Who might come in as a sporting director, who might come in as players, what the budget is going to be, and we're literally months away from a new season. And there is an upheaval. Definitely there has to be a big turnover, surely. So, I've kind of come to, like when the club went up for sale, some of you say it was never up for sale. I believe it was. I can see a jumbo jet in the sky. It looks like it's aiming in this direction. When you see the trail behind it there, it looks like it's taken a sharp turning, which is very unusual in this area. Not too far away from Alicante Airport. Keep an eye on that, guys. It might be disappearing in a minute. It's putting me off. I've lost my thought. Anyway, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. I just think it's doing me. So yeah, I've kind of accepted that. All right, I got excited that we might get these new owners. I was really looking forward to a changeover, and there's nothing to suggest that won't happen yet. It's just gone very, very quiet. And to be honest with you, when it's quiet, I think that's a good thing, because that usually means that everything's going right for someone somewhere. When we hear about all the Qatar interest and this, that, and the other, that's people leaking stuff, right? It's still coming in this direction. Oh, and I see another plane now to the side of it. Wonder if that's why it made that sharp turning. Hey, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So who knows what's going to happen? Don't know, but we need to know. So the point I'm saying is, if the situation is so fucking, Jesus Christ, I shit you not, a bird just dropped right down, only off the house behind me, but it must have jumped off the tiles, dropped right down below the window here, my view, and appeared underneath the aircraft. So it looked like all of a sudden there was something coming. Don't matter, shit my pants. It's climbing, that plane, we're all right. I can't remember what I was saying. My whole life flashed before me. Didn't take very long. I don't know. I was hoping that we'd get sold. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just think it all needs sorting out as soon as possible so we can put it to bed. And then we can stop sulking. People can stop arguing. I've never seen so many Liverpool fans argue about stuff online. Do you know what I mean? We've got all these top reds arguing, and people that apparently should have no right to an opinion because they live in another country or don't live in Liverpool. It's just like, it's draining, it's draining. And I'm sick of it being our topic of conversation on, when we do a stream on a Saturday. There's nothing wrong with the guys that are coming on the stream and talking about it, whether it's in the chat or whether it's on a phone call, because what else can we talk about? So for me, it's changed direction again now. Is he pissed? For me, it's most exercise I've done since I was at school. So for me, just sort it out. Sick of hearing about it. We've got to. It has to be sorted, guys. Julian Ward, the ownership, new sporting director, so we can get on with these transfers. And I just, why would Ajax? I don't maybe Ajax. Or, Julian, do you rate Julian Ward? Is he out special? I mean, I don't know. Got to get it sorted, guys. Got to get it sorted. Right, listen. I'm off to upload this video, and then I'm doing the KopTalk podcast today. Definitely, that's coming up shortly. I updated Dunk Knows Best podcast yesterday. I think that's it. I've got a lot of written stuff to do as well. So if you could see that, I don't know if I can show it to you. You're not interested, are you? You don't care. Right. Shout out to those of you that support my channel. Thank you very much. And it is your name in the video description, guys. Has anyone actually, supported the channel yet, other than being a member? Come on, guys. You know what I mean? Help a brother out, man. Speak to you. Give me your money. All right, guys. See you in a bit. Don't make sure you comment in the video, because listen, if you if you're not a channel member or whatever, just like a thumbs up and then a comment is nice to see. Is there anything you want us to talk about? Because other than the Julian Ward stuff at the minute, there's not really much to go on unless we start talking about transfer speculation. And transfer speculation at the minute, there's a lot of it, and I don't think a lot of it's very credible, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of people are clutching at it, and I don't want to get into being clickbaity about stuff. I'd rather talk about more credible things. Where's it? Oh my God, I'm going to show it to you. Let me see if I can show it to you. Right, I need to take that out of there. Right, so we do this, and then can I turn it round? Oh, you see, I'm on an iPhone, or normally on Samsung, it won't let me turn it round while I'm filming. How gay is that? It's rubbish, that, isn't it? Here he is, the main man. Hooray.